One day, back in June '97, I found myself aboard HMS Belfast, the World War II cruiser and now museum ship in the Pool of London. And I had already that morning visited the Imperial War Museum. These were not just casual or visits or outings, but after having worked for a number of years on commissions for a succession of Napoleonic models, I felt I needed a change of direction, and I had more or less decided to build myself a model of HMS Dido, a World War II light cruiser. The Dido class have always appealed to me. Beautifully balanced in silhouette with a massive, complex and interesting deck details, I think they're amongst the most handsome of our wartime cruisers. So, as a model that I wanted to keep and live with, she seemed like an ideal choice. I had gathered together over the years a collection of photographs and plans of these ships, which I'd spent many hours poring over. So I was well prepared to make a start. However, as with any model I have ever built, there is what I tend to think of as an absorption phase that comes before I ever get to grips with the practical side of things. To put it in more flowery language, a time to absorb the spirit of the ship and make a decision about how you want to portray it. To my mind, Norman O was the master when it came to building model warship models. There's something intangible in the effect his models have on people, not only on myself, but all the other model makers I've met over the years in various museums, gazing at one or other of Norman's models. We all seem to respond to them in the same way. If you closely examine some of these models, you'll find model making of a standard that's possibly never been equalled. He knew just where to put the emphasis and detail and finish in order to create just the effect that was needed. Many famous paintings show similar qualities. Norman's wonderful model of HMS Dorsetshire in dry dock is a case in point. Every piece of wood, paper or card has been placed and painted with the same awareness of their importance within the whole picture as individual brushstrokes and accents that have been added to many great paintings. Norman, like myself, started out studying fine art, so maybe it's just myself views his work in this way. I never met him, as our careers did not overlap. It's something I greatly regret. In my opinion, he was one of the great and unique artists of the 20th century and should be recognised as such. Sadly, few people have even heard of him. Anyway, back to that day in June '97, chasing up some of Norman's work before wandering around the Belfast, absorbing the atmosphere of a large warship. The size, the multiplicity of decks and ladderways, the seemingly endless complexity, the starkness of the steel environment, bleak and alien, but at the same time, certainly for those serving aboard her in wartime, what must have seemed a warm and womb-like environment, but at the same time, perilously fragile. In this world, men went to war, lived with the smell of paint and engine oil, the relentless hum of the turbines, and whatever else it is that lets us know we're aboard a ship like this. All these feelings I tried to hold on to and bring to the model as I worked on it. Makes the whole process far more rewarding, and it maintains an involvement with the ship herself. For me, it has always been one of the ways of keeping that little tingle of adrenaline going. That is at the beginning of each project I embark on. And like any relationship, it takes work to keep alive. I have a belief that in my own mind and view of the model, it brings something to the finished work. I suppose I should say something here about the construction methods of the model, but they were so similar to a more recent model that I made, HMS Cavalier, for which there is already a video in this series, that I will let that pass. Let this one be more about the process of dreaming a model into existence. May you all find time to dream.